Joseph, I
Christmas.
uploaded a new video to our page.
Was it from when we did Christmas in July?
It wasn't. You know what we do on social media now, Joseph?
No.
And you know what I'm going to do with this social media? I'm going to bury people. I'm going to bury everybody.
When is that from? Like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was when he was like just kind of early in WWE, and he says it in the video. He's like, WWE's asked us to do like more social media and create YouTube pages and Facebook pages and stuff. It's like, wow, how times have changed with that shit.
Yeah. Do you remember when they had like their own version of like Twitter? It was like the WWE Universe thing. Remember that?
The touts? We talking about the touts?
That was another thing, but there was at one point they all had like their own blogs, and it was a weird deal. There's someone talked about it in detail. I forget who. Maybe Kurt Hawkins. I don't know. Twitter was a Zack Ryder gimmick, brother. He was like the first one that understood Twitter. Seems bad.
And then they buried him for it.
Yeah, he was owned, in fact, by the WWF. I tell you though, what a great year he had, huh? What a great year.
He did have a really good year, honestly.
Do you think he's going to be the NWA champion soon?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
Actually. Yeah. I think they're going to put it on him, and then conquering babyface Nick Aldis is going to beat him for it.
Yep, that sounds about right. Defending the honor of... Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's kind of been my theory since all of this started to play out.
You going to let it play out?
I mean, we have no choice but to let it play out.
Agreed.
Hey everybody, I just saw the Raw and NXT ratings for this week, and I just wanted to touch base with you all and check in here. They're both very low. It's not great. It's definitely troubling. I do think you need to remember, the way people watch television has changed, but overall it's not great, but all we can do is just let it play out.
Incredible. Speaking of ratings, okay, would you like some ratings talk?
Sure.
Do you know that in April of 2018, the WWF did a 1.22 in the demo?
Okay.
This week they did like a 0.38. Would you suggest that's bad to lose almost a full point in the demo in 3 years?
But that's not good. Like, certainly not good.
Okay, so December 2019, average demo of 0.65. That has dropped like 0.30. Is that bad? I'll keep it real with you, Jeremy. I didn't realize it used to be that high. I'm going to be completely honest. The idea that only a few years ago they were doing over a 1 in the demo, that's news to me. I didn't know. So
when did was there a significant drop? Like, was there, like, it was gradual, right? It wasn't just like, oh, it went from 1 point to 0.6. Okay.
April 2018, 1.22. May 2018, 0.87. That seems pretty dramatic to me.
What happened between April and May?
I went to WrestleMania. That's actually what happened. Like, if you look, that Mania is clearly a turning point because they've never got to a 1 ever again. It does appear that our friend, you know what actually it is? I'm looking at it here. March 2020, they did 0.68. Then they dropped 10 and they've gone down since. It seems people stopped watching with COVID and just didn't come back. There's definitely a group of people that did that because March is a lot higher than anything we've had since. So
yeah.
Some people obviously got out of the habit of watching and never got back into it, which seems bad.
We kind of we sort of suspected that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because, people like WWE tried to spin it of like, oh, well, everybody's going to watch wrestling now because there's no other live sports on. And like we talked about at the time, it's like, no, they're just going to watch like better entertainment. They're going to watch all these shows on Netflix and stuff they haven't watched for years. And that's like, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but there's enough evidence to suggest that plenty of people just did not tune into wrestling because it was live sports.
Yeah.
And then they went elsewhere. And yeah, they didn't come back, even though crowds were back. So it had to tick up a little bit when crowds returned, right? Or am I?
I haven't got the 2021 numbers here, but
Okay.
I don't think it really did much. It
I
went
don't-
back up, but not to where it was before COVID. you know?
Yeah.
I think this is interesting because in some of these cases, they are ranking higher in the demo than they were. Like under Heyman, they were doing a better number, but they ranked lower some weeks because there are people that have just cut the cord. That happens, right?
Yeah.
I will say, and I'm not wishing for anyone to lose their jobs here. If you were like looking at Bruce Prichard as a head coach, interesting win-loss record he's turned in here, Jeremy. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here, and he became the head of creative on Raw in, I think, June 2020. He has lost around 1.15 since then, which I suggest is less than ideal, not what you want. I'm not. Look, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but it doesn't seem that he's doing a great job.
I mean, Jason Kidd still gets head coaching jobs. Like, what are you gonna do, right? Like,
fair. That's fair. That's fair. What do casual fans want? They would not want the same thing that worked in the Attitude Era. Well, yeah, definitely not. Because young NXT 2.0 is trying that, and I can confirm the kids ain't feeling it, Jeremy.
the median age was 64 for the show.
Yeah. So I think part of it is wrestling is dying, which I suggest is less than ideal. We should probably try and fix that at some point. I'm half joking. I think WWE needs to be a better entertainment promotion. I think there is clearly a different audience they can reach, and I don't think the answer is trying to pop us to. I actually think it's being like aggressive in the marketplace they want to be in, you know? Okay, you want to have kids watch your show? I don't have 3 hours on Mondays to play, brother. Like, you're gonna have to gamble, you have to give up that money though, right? Like that's their whole funding. So they're kind of in a catch-22. Their money comes from the fact they produce all this content, but they're a hard company to get into because they produce so much content. 3 hours of Raw is brutal. I mean, it could be a lot better, but let's be honest, it's bad. That's not a good situation to be in. So,
would you punt on the third hour?
Probably not. No, if I actually sat down and looked at the money, I'd be like, no, we ain't taking that risk. We just need to do a better show, you know?
Yeah, I mean, doing a better show would obviously be
I get you though. Yeah, long term, that's a better play. But I don't know. I think the next play is inevitably the brand split, right? That's the inevitable next. Like you move you get rid of the brand split and you get a new creative head and you do the same show.
Oh, okay. When I said punt on the third hour, I apologize. I was not talking like just like cut it off. Like,
oh, you meant like just give up? Don't even try. Yeah,
like take the third hour and just do honestly just do wrestling matches. Just throw two guys out there, let them wrestle, and that's it. Like do all the shit you want to do in the first 2 hours, and the third hour just throw Ricochet and AJ Styles out there. I guess they have their thing, but
they just do that.
Yeah. No, but just like that's what you're gonna do. Just throw them out there for 30 minutes. Just let them wrestle for 30 minutes.
So basically, you would write traditional TV for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Have an arc that starts and ends at the end of the second hour, and then you would just kill time and have work rate stuff basically for the nerds. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know, man. SmackDown's really hard to gauge because there's probably evidence that if it was on cable, it would not be nearly as impressive commercially, right? Like, people get really excited about the Fox number, but that's a different thing being on Fox. However, let's be fair here, Jeremy. Their number is not only steadied, it's actually gone up a little bit every once in a while this last year. Raw, there ain't nothing steady about what's going on at Raw. So there's proof that if you have something vaguely compelling, people will watch it. I mean, you and I may be kind of tired of Roman Reigns as that particular champ, but the WWE audience is still into it. So, I think really the truth is that Raw needs to find its Roman Reigns, which they're not going to do, so they're going to get rid of the brand split. And that will do what it does. I don't know how that looks, but unfortunately, the biggest stars on Raw are in a position where they're not allowed to be stars. Because the biggest stars on Raw are Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And they're both in tag teams. Well, AJ was in a tag team. So that's the thing too. I mean, I love Big E. Unfortunately, getting pushed in 2021 WWE is not the formula to become a star.
This reign has sucked.
Fair. Did you do the story about Instagram today?
No, we got sent that stuff.
Okay, so here's what's interesting about that. Okay, we all agree that Bianca Belair has been kind of wasted as of late, right? But she was definitely pushed well initially. That was a great push to Mania, right? And the Bayley stuff was good. Now, if you look at her like trends online, and even if you look at her number on that article that was posted on Fightful, it tells you that this is not a criticism of her. It tells you though that there are less people watching WWE than ever, because getting pushed now doesn't do what getting pushed 4 years ago did. You know,
Yeah.
Like if you look at Bianca Belair's Google trends and compare them to like someone that was pushed 5 years ago, Asuka, Banks goes without saying, but if you did Asuka, I think you would find that there's just less interest now. So if you get pushed now, there's less chance of getting over. Big E suffers from that, I think. I think most of the people have stopped watching, you know? And if you're not watching the TV, you're not going to see what's happening on TV, which in some ways is good. And in some ways it's bad, because if you're trying to elevate, so like I'm telling you, man, like Bianca Belair has 1 million Instagram followers. That's a hell of a number. I don't think that's like in line with what the pushed men and women of yesteryear did. And that isn't a Bianca Belair thing. She's awesome. But I just think it tells you something about who's not watching these shows, Jeremy. That's where I'm at right now.
We're not watching because all these pushes suck.
Right.
Like if you're following Big E, or if you wanted to get into it, or like I agree with you. Clearly the audience, like what you mentioned is just facts that the audience has diminished. But like if you're watching and like, people are excited about Big E, like take away what the number did, because I think like it wasn't the best number in the world when they put the title on Big E and everything.
Yeah.
Like since then, they haven't done anything to make you believe. Like if you were someone who heard about the Big E title win and you were a Big E fan, you were excited for this, and you tuned in and you've watched since then, you've gotten nothing to where it's like, oh man, this is very rewarding. This is what I got. Like there's just they give you the moment. I've said it a million times. They give you the moment, and then there's no plan going into the moment. There's no plan coming out of that moment. But they give you the moment, they give you that talking point, and then after that, no one cares, and that's why it's tough for people. It's tough for people to get back in or to continue to follow, because you don't need to follow this stuff. You just pop online one night, and you see, oh, cool, Big E won the title. Great. I witnessed that moment on social media if you're still following this stuff. And you don't need to pay attention to anything after that, because there's no reason to.
And this is really difficult, because anyone that's watched The Distraction knows where I'm at on Big E. He was top of my big board a year ago, and I always said he should be the face of the business, not the company, the business. And I stick to my guns on that in an ideal world. However, there is unfortunately, increasing evidence that not only are you right, I don't know how many people actually tuned in to see Big E as champ in general. Like how many people had that interest in that. Now, what that means is not an indictment of Big E, or frankly, this is what I take from that. We all love New Day, but I think that tells you that because they were a WWE tag team that unfortunately meant they had to lose to the Forgotten Sons and do shit like that, I think it tells you the wider WWE audience, they see there to be a gap between like a great tag team and a top guy. So they like Big E, but they don't take him. They don't see him as like a guaranteed top guy. They needed some work to be done, and unfortunately, and this is we'll go back to your point, their way of doing that was having him cash in on Bob Lashley, like taking advantage of him. And I'm sorry, but that's not how you do it. You have him beat Bob Lashley clean in the middle, or beat Roman Reigns clean in the middle. So they didn't help themselves in that regard. I think they should have done the Big E stuff years ago. But I do think there is a truth to like the audience needs convincing that he's a top guy. And unfortunately, that audience may not be interested in watching every week. So you can send him to all the media you want, but no matter how much they like him, and I certainly do, they may have made their mind up on the product. And so, I don't know how you turn the tide on that. I think Heyman, for all of his flaws, had the right idea in terms of trying to build guys slow. But I think he lost the plot a little bit when COVID hit, and they had a lot less guys, and they got, fired. So, I don't know. It's going to take time of long-term booking is what I'm saying. You're going to have to really sit down and make a project of it. Who are our guys? Let's push 4 guys, and then let's have a new era. Let's promote this. We love nostalgia, and we'll run the video packages of Rock and Austin, but let's promote a new time in WWE, you know, about today's guys. That's what someone's going to have to do. It's going to take some bravery, though. You know, you're going to have to, ratings are going to sink lower. You're going to have to hope they come back up. So we shall see, Jeremy.
Joel mentions like YouTube numbers and stuff. So we track sort of like the raw videos, the YouTube now. Like when the ratings come out, we post like the raw numbers that on YouTube. So December 16th, 2019, 2 years ago, they had 2 videos do over 1 million views, and then the third highest did 680, and the lowest of the top 5 did 326. The latest Raw 1220, the highest video was 595 views. Like,
now to me, that's more damning than TV ratings. To me personally, and people can say what about the YouTube numbers. I know that Dave was often say, "Well, you know, people in India or whatever he says." I don't know if that's true. I don't know. However, that is not good.
No,
and I have seen
the YouTube numbers are brutal.
Yeah, and I've seen the gap between them and AEW shrink in that regard, which is bad because anyone that knows anything about AEW knows they have the worst YouTube titles in the world. So that shrinking is bad. Yeah, but they're still not great, right? Like they still overcomplicate the hell out of it. Yeah. So I'm telling you, man, I think not only are less people watching on TV, I think there's a real difficulty in terms of like, I think there's a real difficulty in terms of those people that were on the bubble of interest, like on the fringe, just being like, I'm done. I'm tired of it. And it isn't good for wrestling. We can all do jokes about Fed dead and, you know, run around with a flag and pop ourselves. But like, hey, look, let's be real. Most people see wrestling as WWE, for better or worse. And I would rather that not be the trend. I would really like to sit down and investigate. Maybe you and I should do this at some point and have a podcast about it where we actually look at what does views beyond the obvious ones of like, you know, someone topless. What does like, what consists, because I remember us talking a lot about Bray's doing big numbers and Bray does not work there anymore. So seems you can learn something from that, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, the stuff that does the best for them, like I'm just gonna use Raw as an example. So let me see some of the best numbers for Raw viewership over the past few weeks here. All right, so this week the highest, most viewed segment was Almost an AJ, their little turn angle. That was the most watched thing. Big E and Lashley against Rollins and Owens was second. And then the Liv and Becky segment. Last week was Maurice and Miz, Big E and Lashley, Becky and Liv. Becky and Liv did 288 though. Like,
that's not good.
No, that's not good.
And look, here's the thing. Creatively, you have to make a choice regarding Liv Morgan because the people like her.
Just it's frozen, I believe.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
Sorry, that happens sometimes. Am I good generally?
Yeah.
This is a different spot.
Yeah.
So you have to make a choice for Liv Morgan because people like her. You can either protect her and try and get her over by not having her do 6-minute in-ring promos, or you can just say, hell with that, she needs to get better at promos and send her out there to die. That segment this week was... And listen, you could say maybe Liv's, you know, she obviously needs to get better, and that's fine, that happens. But creatively, they should all have sat there and been like, that was an incredible failure on our part. Because she obviously wasn't ready to cut a promo like that. They overly scripted her. She sounded like a robot. You got to do a better job by your talent. Whether Liv Morgan is the best worker or the best promo or not, people like Liv Morgan. Your job, not you, Jeremy, but the WWF creative team, is to convince the masses that fill the audience, fill the arenas, that they also like Liv Morgan. Your job is not to expose the fact that Liv Morgan may not be ready for a push. It's professional wrestling, okay? It's a work. Get smarter, be creative, have someone sit down and do pre-tapes with her where she can express herself more freely and allow her to kind of show her strengths rather than what they're doing in this Becky feud, which is basically exposing all of her frailties and killing her dead. Brutal creative.
The Becky feud was doomed to fail because people still like Becky as well. Like that's another issue of this whole thing is like whoever Becky feuds with is already at a disadvantage because people just want to cheer for Becky. And like Becky's trying, she's trying to garner some heel heat and stuff with what she's doing, but it's tough. It's tough when you're coming back from being a mom and you never lost the title and you were the rebel who rose up the ranks and they tried to turn you heel in the first place and the fans cheered you so much you were a babyface. And then you come back and you're trying to be a heel again. Like, it's tough for the people that want to boo you. And as much as she's trying, they ain't doing it. But they're sticking baby faces that people also like Bianca and like Liv out there. And then just they're dividing their own audience in this stuff.
That's a big problem. The Becky as a heel thing never made sense. It was a mistake. And we all know that. But the Liv thing is such a great encapsulation of a wider problem where what they're actually doing is convincing their audience that she isn't any good. And like, look, I'll be honest, you guys. If you ask me to do a big board of the women in WWE, I don't have Liv that high. But that isn't how wrestling works. And at Money in the Bank, I could hear the people were into Liv. They were. Remember that?
Yeah.
So your job is then to expand that. And it's just, they just show no interest in doing it. But, I get it, man. Like, she's not there yet. I understand. But you can't just wait for someone to tick every box before you push them. You have to, like, do the work and make it easier for them. I think there's a lot of personality in Liv Morgan. You're not going to get it in that setting. You're not going to get her trying to remember her lines standing with a kendo stick. It's bullshit. Like, do the work. Get there early, sit down with Liv Morgan and figure out who she is. And that isn't a Paul Heyman thing where you have her just say, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, like he's doing Ferris Bueller. Just try it. Not everyone is going to cut in-ring promos. That's all I'm trying. Like, they did this with Shinsuke, bro. I mean, outrageous. Remember that shit? They had Shin out there cutting in-ring promos. Shoot a vignette! Anyway, enough about that. Fed dead and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Ricardo says, I have zero compunction with booing Becky.
I mean, I agree, but Becky's, I don't know. Becky's return as a heel is like, to me, like peak WWE. And like the fact that audience doesn't get this bad is just tremendous to me. Just like you like what you like, but it's just such a tremendous misunderstanding of how wrestling should work. Like, here is a person you love. We have no one else that's like that. Hate them now. Like, no. You lean in. You don't pull away like that. It's nuts. It's real bad.
She's coming back after giving birth, and she was the top babyface.
Yep.
She was the top babyface probably in the company. Like, am I mistaken on that?
No, you're probably right.
Like, she was just top babyface in the company when she walked away. She walked away for pregnancy, like a very good reason. And then, hey, let's just come back and let's turn her into a heel when everyone knew she was going to get this gigantic pop and everybody wanted to cheer. And they did this whatever year it was when they tried to turn her against Charlotte and she kept getting cheered. They're like, no, Becky's the heel. And they finally just, they will, or against their will, we're just like, okay, fine, she's a babyface.
Yeah. I think the women's division is a massive story going into 2022.
Sucks.
Because I think it's pretty obvious that it's time for some sort of generational shift, era change, Like, you obviously have to continue to use talent at the caliber of Banks and Becky, especially those two. But you clearly have to, like, mix up the main event scene some, right? Like, it feels like I've seen all of these matchups now. So you got to, like, figure out a way of getting... Bianca Belair, I feel like, it's there, basically. I think by Mania, she'll have the belt back. But you need to get Rhea. Yeah, you need to get Rhea, Liv, Tony, like, just new names, Shotzi. Like, you need to mix it up a little bit, I think, for the sake of the division. But I don't think they're going to do that. But I think, to me, it's pretty clearly that time to get to that. That's just me.
I mean, I'm with you. Like, they have those names on television. The problem is they're in feuds with the horsewomen, and they ain't beating them. Like, they're just not. Dude, I'm sure you didn't watch SmackDown. I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tony pins Charlotte in this tag team match, and they're selling it like it's Pena defeating Nunes, and it's like, why are you doing this disservice to your talent of she pinned her in a tag team match. Like, it's not the greatest accomplishment in the world, but don't also act like it's just a massive upset. Like, Toni Storm's a WWE superstar. She's a former NXT UK champion. She pinned her in a tag match. Sell it like, like good, like that's a big win for Toni. Don't sell it like it's just huge, massive upset that could never be reasonable.
Yeah.
And then when Charlotte inevitably beats her next week, it's like, well, just a fluke. Toni actually sucks.
How is she doing, Toni Storm? Is she getting over?
I don't know, dude. I don't pay attention to that.
Where are the
enough.
chat? If you watch SmackDown, where are the audience at on Toni? Scale of 1 to 10. So I've always been intrigued by it. Like, Toni's one that always re-jumps off the page, so I'm really intrigued. Yeah, I think there's something going on with Dakota Kai. There has to be some sort of.
Did she win or lose on NXT last night?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it's a Twitch thing where she won't sign like a new deal. I don't know what it is. It just feels like she'd have not. She did the dark matches and then went straight back down. But I agree with you, Joel. It's
Dakota lost.
I mean, she wrestled Raquel, right?
Yeah, it was a street fight. I assume she lost, but she already lost to Raquel once, so I thought maybe they would just be like, all right, well, here's a win for Dakota.
I forgot they did the pie thing with Charlotte and Toni.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, at least she got Charlotte back. I thought Charlotte was just going to do it and they'd never go back to it. So here's the thing. Like, I agree, Mad Dog stuff about not like you can who's getting over, but you can sometimes tell when like someone has a little bit of a connection. Like Liv's a good example of it. Like in the summer, you could kind of tell Liv was getting over a little bit. I don't think that's really there anymore, but I'm intrigued by if Toni's doing the same personally. But yeah, that's enough about WWE. I just when I saw that promo segment, it bummed me out because I was just like, man, there's so many ways to do wrestling. You don't have to just like have everyone do this sink or swim shit. They have to go there and talk. Like, do something cool, man. Like, do something different. I don't know. Anyway, excited for Dynamite?
Kyle O'Reilly's gonna be there.
Do you think that's actually true, or is it going to be like a big old joke where it's like an actual gift?
No, if they don't deliver O'Reilly, but I'm not saying they're going to be like upset if like, oh, they didn't deliver Danielson, they didn't deliver Punk, but there's plenty of people expecting O'Reilly tonight to where it feels like he's there.
Okay, so if instead they gave you Brody King and the Briscoes, would you be whining that you didn't get the air guitar man?
No, probably not. Like, not
Good.
if they make it up in
Probably.
Probably.
Probably not.
I like Kyle O'Reilly. Like, I'm higher on Kyle O'Reilly than Brody King. What? What do you want me to say? I like Kyle O'Reilly.
It's just interesting. I'm not saying you're not necessarily wrong, but it's just interesting, Brody King's a bad man.
I like Brody King, but here's the thing. I don't care about this Malachi stuff. Like,
as opposed to your interest in Bobby Fish, that he's genuine. That makes sense.
And the biggest star in wrestling, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very fair answer. Actually, I'm with that. I think Brody's a more interesting piece of talent in terms of ceiling.
Sure.
Because if you really got behind Brody and pushed him, like, he's pretty dynamic, It's a bad man, Jeremy. It's a bad man.
Like, I'm with you on Brody King as a talent overall, but because he's doing this Malachi stuff, I don't know like how much they're really gonna do with him in that stuff. At least I know Kyle O'Reilly, like he's gonna be in one of their main storylines with this stuff, and there's plenty of stories they can tell.
Here's the problem,
with all
and
of that.
You seem to have missed this, so I'll help you out. At the Undisputed Era, they don't have Roderick Strong. So, like, basically, what you're getting is...
Who gives a fuck?
I'm trying to think the best way I can do this. What just happened?
I played the Who Gives a Fuck.
I just heard a sound of it starting and ending. That was very scary. I didn't hear any of the Who Gives a Fuck.
Right when you said they don't have Roddy Strong, I just played it.
I didn't hear any of it. I've forgotten now. I've lost you. Now I'm bambboozled. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm lost. That is like having the Shield, but without I don't fucking know. Dean Ambrose or someone. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Like, they were fine. They did that thing with their hands and they had the shirt, and then they got Rod Strong, and it was like, okay. Now we're talking. Now they can have some good matches, you know?
Dude, they're going to have Roddy Strong in about 6 months, I feel like.
It feels like that, right?
Yeah.
It feels like that. I mean, Roddy's going to put over Bron Breakker last week, Carmelo Hayes in about 2 weeks. And then it's like, well, then what?
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
They're just doing it, like, they're just doing away with that whole division, it seems like. So
less than ideal, yeah.
Yeah. Like Roddy, like that was like a good usage of Roddy and everything too, because just go out there. He's working 205 live against Odyssey Jones and shit, and just having good matches. He just go out there and just have fun matches and whatnot. Now,
yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but
have you did you see the Bumps interview with the Diamond Mine?
No. Why would I watch that?
Rest of those folks very much need Malcolm with them, I can tell you.
Oh yeah, I've watched bits and pieces of the NXT stuff to know that group is doomed without Bivens speaking and Roddy kind of like being in there as the leader.
They would like ask questions to Ivy and the Creed guys.
Yeah.
And they would just sit there in dead silence, and Bivens would be like, talk. And they would talk. It was interesting. I mean, I like all three of those, but like when Roddy is like the second most confident promo, God bless, you know, good luck and all that good stuff. So, yeah, the group is cool though. Bivens is just wonderful. What a man.
He is.
He should win the world title.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like beat Roman?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you do the angle where like, you know when Foley beat Rock?
Yeah.
Bivens is Foley and Roddy Strong is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And you know they do fake pops now? Like you just insert that pop. The Steve Austin, you literally take the Steve Austin pop ankle and just insert it over Roddy Strong's. Because it'll be in the Thunderdome soon anyway, right? So
seems that way.
It's Bob's fault, man. Guys like Bob not getting vaxxed.
Yeah.
Shit's mad, bro. Where is he anyway, the piece of shit?
I don't know. He's probably out leading some type of protest with things going on right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's at some town hall meeting.
Yeah, that's very fair. I agree with that, actually.
Schools are trying to enforce mask mandates, and he's like, can't do that.
Fucking Bob. Good guy, though. Political beliefs aside, good guy. Right, Jeremy?
Good guy.
Speaking of Bob. Oh, no. What Wyndham rumors?
What happened, Joel Burrow?
Oh, no. Please, God. I thought I'd made it out safe. Please. I don't want any. I don't want him.
Are we starting that because maybe because we were talking about...
oh, please tell me it's just a joke and not a real thing.
Yeah, cause I think maybe because we were talking about O'Neal, and then I did the Fiend bit yesterday. Maybe that's why.
Merry Wyndham. The Fiend comes out from under a Christmas tree. He like crawls out. That would rule. I think we're safe, to be honest. Oh, God, there's a DM now. Oh, no.
Oh, I have a DM. Why do I have a DM?
Oh, no, I don't know. It's bad, Jeremy. This is bad.
I feel like we've got to mention this DM on air.
I'm going to violently vomit on the air here, folks.
Oh, Joel Pearl has shared this to, I guess, both of us.
Oh, shit.
Oh. So Rob Viper tweeted, maybe we can say it, that I know Sean Ross Sapp, but I can confirm Wyatt is in attendance at AEW tonight. But wait, I think then he tweeted under that, Yowie Wowie is his catchphrase too. And it's a picture of a kid. Is this kid named Wyatt? And that's the joke? But Joseph has left.
We decided it's a joke.
Well, did you see my follow-up?
I haven't seen the tweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I've even been sent it.
Oh, okay. So what it is
what just happened?
I changed the background so I could do this. So I'm gonna start playing for O'Neal.
What's up, guys?
Okay, hang on, Bob. Wait. Did we establish this was a joke, please?
Okay, so I don't know if you heard me, but the tweet it's from Rob Viper, and he says, "I'm no Sean Rossat, but I can confirm Wyatt is in attendance at AEW tonight." And the tweet under that is "Yowie Wowie" is his catchphrase too, and it's a picture of a kid sticking his.
Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah, it seems like it's a joke.
Oh, thank fuck.
Joel Pearl. Somebody, can we ban Joel Pearl? JJ, ban Joel Pearl.
Oh my God Almighty, that was scary. You know what's brutal? Do you want the honest reason I don't want it to happen? Because he just seems like a really good guy, and I don't want to have to be mean about the Fiend Bray Wyatt. You know, I hope he goes and does his thing. Seems like a very nice guy, but I don't want him in the fleet personally. Hey Bob, how are you? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. I was listening to the show while I was doing some other stuff. I got buried, but it's what it is. Good to see you, though.
I mean, you view those views as being a burial. I didn't say that. So.
That's fair.
Do you like my Christmas tree, Bob?
I do. It looks nice.
Thanks, Bob. Where's your Christmas tree?
I can show it to you. When are we doing a show again? Next Wednesday, I'll be home. I can show it to you.
We're doing a show in about 3 hours.
I know, but I'm not. I'm still here, though. I'm not home yet, so,
Speaking of such, let's do some promotion. LateNightGrin.com. Live after AEW Dynamite for the Christmas edition of the Late Night Grin. We are going to listen to this, Jeremy. This will pop you. We're reviewing Dynamite. We are going to name our all elite teams. It's like all NBA, but for the fleet.
Yeah.
A tag team, 2 singles men and a singles woman. 3 of those. Then we are going to decide live on the air the nominees and categories for the first ever Golden Granny award ceremony. So there's a lot to happen tonight, and frankly, I'm very excited. Bob, I'm sure you're excited. Jeremy, are you excited now?
I'm very excited. I saw your tweet about this. I look forward to this. Can I give my team? I'm not going to be there tonight.
Yes, please do.
All right. So it's a tag team, 2 men, 2 women.
Just 1 woman. So it's 5.
Okay. All right. I was counting the tag team as 1 because they work together.
This is what we discussed.
Uh-huh.
But my take was I think it's actually more challenging if you have to pick this 2 singles men. The same way the NBA sometimes you get fuck, I need more guard spots,
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted it to be, more challenging. But you do whatever you want, pal.
Okay.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
All right. Bucks as the tag team.
Yeah.
The men's is the most difficult one. Britt as the female. I got Omega locked in, and then it's Danielson and Hangman for that last spot.
I'm not going to comment on that because you're very close to me, and I don't want to spoil the fame Late Night Grin. But yes, that's a good team.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta go the nod over Danielson, or else my whole gimmick is ruined. But
the problem with Danielson is he's the wrestler of the year because as great as the AEW stuff is, he also has this WWE work. The in-ring is good. Yeah. He hasn't got that in an all elite thing, right? And that is difficult. As great as he's been, he's doing it on 3 months' work rather than
that is the tough part. I mean, I feel like I'm solid with the rest of the team. I wouldn't make any changes there. It is that last spot of Danielson, Hangman, of who do you pick?
Absolutely. Speaking of such, the Fleet 50 will be open for ballots in about a week. The 50 best in-ring performers in AEW in 2021. Give me your 50. Send them to me on the 1st of January. We'll have a winner. We'll crown a winner. We'll announce it on the Late Night Grin, and I'll also tweet it. Bob, have you completed your Fleet 50 yet?
I'm working on it.
Interesting. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
Favorite Christmas song, and will you sing it?
No, I'm not going to sing it.
Fair.
Damn, that's a good question. There's Christmas music's weird, right? Because it's the same 10 songs just by a million different people.
Yeah. That's difficult mathematically, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, Little Drummer Boy is a good song. I like that.
What? No, it's not.
My God, Bob. This is what we love about Bob, and Shoot and I talk about this a lot. You never quite know where he's going, do you? When you think he's straight and narrow, he zigs violently all of a sudden. It's a fascinating character. Yeah, it is worth saying, Jeremy, you wouldn't have seen this, but the great oracle of wrestling lost the plot a little bit on Friday.
Oh no.
Kenny Omega came up at about 3 hours 40 and he went crazy. Talking about his hair being dumb and he hates him. And
Did you see this Kenny Omega John Moxley 2-pack, the Revolution 2-pack? I don't know what they did to Kenny Omega's face and hair, but ugh.
Yeah. Did you see the Anna Jay figure that was shown today?
I saw it came out. I didn't look closely enough at it.
I don't know, man. I really struggle sometimes with the details on these folks' faces, and I just like if you're doing like John Silver, you can do the broad strokes a lot easier, right? Bald guy, beard, job done. Like Anna Jay, bless her. I don't know if they did the greatest job on that. I mean, Bob, you're more of an expert on that topic, but action figures, not Anna Jay.
Yeah. No, I mean, some of them, they're very hit and miss, but I mean, that's the case with pretty much every action figure. You know, I think, well, we've talked about it with like the FTR ones in particular, like those are rough. But, and does that impact if you're going to buy them? Because I think for me it does. Like if it looks weird, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Can we just talk about the fact that Bob just claimed that every action figure ever made is hit or miss? Meaning that he's divided on like every figure he has is one part. He's like, fuck, that's a miss. Goldberg's boots aren't the right color.
Yep.
That rules. You get what you get, I suppose, right, Bob?
Exactly.
We're in for a great night tonight, if you can't tell. We haven't talked about Dynamite at all, really. I buried Kyle O'Reilly for a little. My God, Drew, what are you wearing? It's like a sports jersey.
No, it's a pullover. It's very cold. It's Ohio. It's December in Ohio. Like it's cold as shit.
I only realized it was like another layer when you did this, and your arms looked like you was like he was at the circus or something.
Yeah, it's a pullover here is what it is. I do have another
My
shirt
God,
on.
pal, you must be cold.
It's so cold here. I got the heat on, but like I'm also trying to save money.
Tope Suicida's got a question for Bob there, Jeremy. Maybe you could show that.
Says, remember what Tay was tweeting about her own action figure's butt was bigger than Britt Baker's. Interesting feud.
Bob?
I do remember that, yes.
There you go. He remembers it. Tope Suicida, Bob remembers it. You excited for this trios match tonight?
I am.
I'm excited.
It's going to be great. Anyway. The whole show looks good. I'm going to be honest with you.
It does, man. It's a really good lineup.
What is the trios match? Am I? Oh, the Sting. Okay.
Sting.
The Sting match.
Yeah,
Sting. Sorry. I was thinking, their usual, like, who are the Acclaim teaming with to do this trios match? What's happening here?
Let me tell you something, Jeremy. This is breaking news. If I don't love tonight's show, I will ruin Christmas by being just foul on the. Tonight's show looks like a home run.
Yeah.
Like Ruby and Nyla sounds like something I'm gonna love. The Adam Cole Orange Cassidy match just feels like such a safe bet to be great TV. And then you've got the main event with like some of my favorite wrestlers ever. In Greensboro on Christmas. David Crockett in the building. Well, I don't love this shit, bro. It's time for me to walk the streets.
Kyle O'Reilly coming in?
Yeah, that's there too.
NXT
Buddy
Ace?
Matthews coming in.
O'Reilly?
Buddy Matthews making his long-awaited debut and kicking the shit out of Brody King on Arrival. Buddy Matthews joining the best friends to even it up and beat up Kyle O'Reilly.
The Briscoes attacking FTR in the main event.
Yeah, I think that's somewhat possible.
What if they do all of this and then the Fiend closes the show?
Streets. On my T-dub, I wanted to be a third promotion, so I assigned all the free agents, like within reason, to a certain home. And I sent Wyndham to AEW. This is a couple months ago. And he beat Eddie Kingston like 4 times in that mod, in that save. And it made me so mad every time. Not even good matches either, like 70s, 72, 66, like just driving me crazy, David Crockett being there is fascinating because like he can't imagine Britt singing that like he used to Ricky Hatton back in the day. That would rule. Craven Cottage, everyone singing Walking in a Wyndham Wonderland. Bob, what's your are you a big David Crockett fan? Have you not seen I'm assuming you haven't heard a lot of David Crockett.
Yeah, not a whole bunch. I watched a video he did with Tony Schiavone the other day.
He would pop you in his prime because he was like When he was something, Bob, he would get a lot of entertainment out of his shit. He was an interesting guy. Very interesting guy. It's pretty cool though, right? Sting in this building, wrestling its FTR.
Oh yeah.
CM Punk on his side. Great tag match right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for me personally, like the Grand Slam match was one of my favorite matches of the year. So
that rolled. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. FTR are back, Bob. Have you heard about that?
That is correct, yes.
Now, Jeremy, what was you going to say? I'm sorry.
I want to bring this up because I feel it's very important. We were talking about this off air a little bit.
Okay.
So Jason says, if Joe doesn't ruin Christmas, Cody will, which is not factual because I've long said that Cody is going to win the title, and I said it's going to happen before the end of next year. Might happen on Christmas Day. Not might. It will. It will happen on Christmas Day. Should I take my victory lap like now? Because Joseph has told me I can't do spoilers tomorrow. People get upset at me. I can't do it. When the distraction goes live tomorrow, we're all going to know that Cody is the new AEW TNT champion.
Yeah.
Joseph said I can't say it, even though we all know it's going to happen. So am I allowed to just take my victory lap now? What was the bet? You got to do a show with O'Neal, Joseph, which you've kind of like already done.
I've already done it.
Yeah.
It's null and void. Already done it.
Like
Bob's internet didn't work the whole show. It was brilliant. Not again.
Yeah, everybody. Maybe. Cody's winning the title. Cody's winning the title tonight.
I think it'll be a mistake, but because Sammy's reign has kind of been lame, you got to let it play out. I feel bad for Sammy because he's kind of, to me, he's done the most with what he's been given, but he hasn't been given a whole lot.
Yeah.
Belt has felt real mid-card in this run, which is a shame. Cody's a great TNT champ beforehand. Do I really think he's the guy that should have the belt now? No. But if he's a transitional champion and it's a whole angle, that's something different, you know? I'll let it play out. Him being champ for 4 months or more is just like, I have no interest in that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you do, but you're doing obviously a bit. But like,
how dare you?
Of all the people that need the TNT title, Cody is obviously not one of them. He literally has had it twice before. There's no reason for him to have the TNT title. There you go.
Cody's gonna win tonight. He's gonna kick off his third historic reign as champion. He's gonna beat this Buddy Matthews guy you keep talking about. He's gonna beat Alistair again.
That's mean. Don't say that.
He's
Take
gonna
that back.
Beat King Brody. He's gonna beat both. He's gonna beat both the Briscoes. He's gonna beat both of them. He's gonna beat both these FTR guys. And beat everybody. And get the golden shovel. Andrade or some other NXT dorks. Kyle O'Reilly, he's going to come in just to lose to Cody.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah, he's going to beat all these NXT dorks.
Bob O'Neill. Bob, did you watched that match on the air, right? That match on Dark with Howdy and...
Yes.
Jeremy, did you see this match?
No.
You got to watch this match.
It was great.
I know Howdy Price.
I don't know, man. It was 10 versus this fella. I'm not going to describe him because he's a big guy, and he had a manager called Howdy who had a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And it was fucking incredible.
I know. Yeah. See here, Sam says it. Dino. So he does streams with New Legacy on Blood.
Okay.
Yeah, he does streams with them. That's how I know of him, and I know he does stuff with Championship Wrestling and stuff. And I saw he was going to be on Dark as the manager. I should watch that. He's tremendous.
You'll love it then because you'll have more frame reference than we did. And it was one of the funniest things I've seen all year. It was incredible.
How it's got to be like a pretty short match, right?
Yes.
Let's watch it right now.
Yeah, it's like 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll watch
it. It's certainly one of the more memorable matches of the year.
Would
you agree, Bob?
I would, yes.
Of the year, not just Dark. Certainly memorable. It'll stick with you for some time.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw someone in the chat saying that he's like a PWG founder. I didn't really know that. I didn't have any clue about that. But it was a pop.
When's the match? Is it like early, late?
Towards the end.
Okay. Yeah, like hour and change, I want to say.
Oh wait, this looks like it's 10. It's Preston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. All right, I'm gonna mute you guys and I'm gonna watch this.
Okay.
You right, Bob?
I'm doing well. Gearing up for our big night. Excited. Should be fun.
You'd be surprised to know that the Confirmed Shoot has some new visuals lined up for us.
Hell yeah.
Some new graphics.
I'm excited to see what Oracle received in the mail. I don't know anything about that.
You should be excited to see that, yes. It's a hell of a show, right?
Yeah.
One hell of a
Taz is
show.
already calling him by the wrong name.
He does that a lot.
Yeah.
So,
it's exciting. It's going to be an hour earlier than usual, so don't tune in at 11 Eastern. You'll miss the first hour.
maybe do that, actually. If Dynamite is kind of bad, maybe actually do that, just so you don't see me whining, and then you'll get to the fun part of the podcast.
That's true.
Where do you see the Danielson-Hangman rematch taking place? I think there's actually a good chance that it's on next week's TV, which is kind of nuts. My initial reaction was Battle of the Belts, but like timing-wise, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think. So,
yeah.
What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, I can see it next week. We've talked about we haven't talked about this. We talked more about Battle of the Belts in general, but you do that next week, and then because the first TBS episode, I think, will kind of be main evented by the women's match, and then Battle for the Belts. You get a new number one contender, maybe throw a tag title match in there, and yeah.
Should we do a match on Battle of the Belts? Tremendous. I want to give a shout out to our pal Kylo, who did a cover of the Cult Personality, which is often what we call Bob. Yeah. Alex was quite great on that show last night, Bob, wasn't he?
Yes.
Did a Johnny Ace impression.
Yeah, I like Alex. I hope he can join us more often. He's very good.
He is, but then I'd have to pay him, and then that would be bad, because then we'd all take less. So where you see the politics of the business,
It's a good point.
His podcast is very good. The Contrarians. It's very, very good. How much is it ruled that we're just doing this small talk? It's tremendous, isn't it? Like we're sitting in like a waiting room.
I don't think Kyle O'Reilly's going to be the surprise in the box or whatever, because he tweeted about it. He's like, he did the "What's in the Box" gif. It's a giveaway. It's too much. I think he'll either.
Yeah. It'll be a swerve, bro.
Exactly.
It will be like something else, and people will be like, "Wait, it's not Kylo," and then he'll come out and do the air guitar thing.
Yeah.
And then I'll just quietly cry because Rod Strong isn't there. Everyone else is. I also want to say, and I was saying this on Twitter earlier, big love to the team, the wrestling team over at Fan Fight, right? Mm-hmm. Fan Bite is the site, but their like thing is Fan Fight, at Fan Fight. Fan BYTE, the wrestling section of that. If you like this show or you like stuff that I've written before, I need everyone to go and give them some love. Follow that account, the Fan Fight one, and go to the Fan Bite site and check their wrestling stuff out. Joseph Montesio did probably the best piece I've read in a long, long time about the Hangman Bryan match. And there's a lot of just cool, quirky, weird, like some of it's really in detail wrestling nerd shit that we pop for, but other parts are really kind of wacky. And Reese, I'm just not educated on Fan, but the rest of that site. So I wasn't saying the rest of it's bad. I'm just saying it's awesome. Please go and support them if you like this show. You will like it very much, I think. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything to promote while we do?
No, I don't think so. latenightgrin.com if you want to hang out after Dynamite. Definitely go there. We're gonna have a good time.
Factual. I appreciate it, Reese, but I'm kind of out of that game now, unfortunately. Maybe one day we'll do something fun.
I was gonna leave the show early tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna anymore. I think I'm just gonna.
My God, you get drink on the air?
No, I just need to go to bed right after instead of staying up for 2 more hours like I do on Fridays.
I'm imagining you like sitting there with like a Bailey's, like Christmas hat on, being all jovial and shit. It's popping me tremendously. Is Jeremy still watching? Jeremy? He's still watching. Bless his heart. Jeremy has sent a super chat, not Jeremy Lambert. Merry Christmas, everyone. Discovered this challenge during the summer. I'm assuming channel, but challenge works too. Sometimes I find it to be rather challenging. And love it. Can't wait to see what comes in 2022. Go Balls. To that we say, go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. It's a super chat. I wouldn't say that, even if I meant it. Bob, go Balls, yes or no?
I would agree. Yes, go Bulls.
Dude, the NBA sucks. Everything's got canceled.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that, Jeremy?
If I was gonna be those like super serious wrestling people, I'd be like, how could they put this on television? This is embarrassing. How could they let something like this be on their television product? This is minor league bullshit.
Outlaw Mud Show, would you say?
No, worse than that. This man, they look like they just pulled him out of the bar, the local bar. They said, "Here, go out there and go out there in a wrestling ring."
It was great. It ruled that I spent the whole match assuming that his gear was going to just fall down. Somehow stayed afloat. I don't know how. He was hitting the ropes and his waist was it was weird. It was a science project.
Do you think you could go 60 minutes with Danielson?
No. I mean, I would love to do a bit and say yes, but no, I do not. I don't think anyone should mess around with that because if Danielson hears it, he may decide he wants to do something at WrestleMania weekend, and then then we have a catastrophe on our hands, So yeah, I'm going to say no to that. But Bob, on the other hand, Bob O'Neill versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson could be something pretty incredible, right? The American Hunter Bob O'Neill versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
What would be your gimmick name? The American Hunter, maybe two on the nose.
My God.
The American Assassin.
Yeah, there you go.
That sounds cool enough that it might not be as direct as Hunter does.
A-Shock just as American Bob.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Leroy was on America's Got Talent. Okay. Oh, did they not say that he's on the Go Big thing? Was that not the way they they plug it? Yeah.
They did.
The real O'Neill American is good.
Wow.
What if he's just the immoral Robert O'Neill?
That would actually be a good name for a heel, right? What is Bob O'Neill's finishing move? Just the almost tree slam. What would it be, Bob?
Yeah, just
I could see you doing a fucking awesome Stan Hansen lariat, bro. You could do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Diving headbutt.
Oh God.
Don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that. Your knees, you could not make it to the top rope.
Oh no.
You just did the falling headbutt.
Yeah, I didn't say. I just said diving headbutt. It could mean anything. It could go off the bottom. You could just stand still and dive.
No, diving headbutt implies like top rope, maybe middle rope. The fall. Who does the falling headbutt? Hanma. You do the Hanma, just falling headbutt.
The man that morality forgot is incredible. See, here's the thing. If you did a knee strike, as Graham says, you could do the Bob O'Neill, which is good, right? Because Tony Nese does that, right? Tony Nese, doesn't he do that? Tony Nese or something?
It's true.
So you could do that, the Bob O'Neill. That could be a signature, though, I think.
Yeah.
If Bob did the Nigel clothesline, he'd end up in a very bad way, I feel. Just fall down. Yeah. His feet would hit the top rope first. It would be a disaster. It's fun to think about Bob working a WrestleMania weekend show with Austin Aries, isn't it? That's our season. I'm doing this 205 Live book, and I'm currently at the point where Austin Aries, the greatest man that ever lived, A-double, he's the top babyface in the division. What a time, huh? He's kind of gets hot, and then he just loses to Neville 3 times and gets fired, and I assume he upset some people along the way. That's an interesting time, man. Oh, man. So you talk about on the nose, right? That's too far. That's a classic grin chat there from Meech.
True.
Bob style pile driver. He just sits down. He doesn't even do any he doesn't hook them or anything. He just sits down and hopes they fall on their head. Yeah, Austin Aries is very good in TNA. Listen, Austin Aries is a great professional wrestler. I mean, him and Bob are obviously sworn enemies, but he was a great professional wrestler. Bob generally will quote tweet Dunk for reasons beyond the wrestling ring. I believe that was the case with Austin Aries, correct, Bob?
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was some of it I don't think Bob needed to tweet in hindsight. But then again, that hindsight could also tell me that maybe he was correct too for other reasons that have since revealed themselves. So we'll leave it at that. Oh my goodness! Look at that! Look at Meech, just swinging for the fences. God, incredible. Dynamite. Bob, say us about Dynamite.
Yeah, it should be a good show. Really looking forward to it. I think Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole will be a very fun match. Again, like we talked about a little bit earlier, but everything they've announced sounds good, which is kind of alarming because then you fall into expectations. Okay. But
we're gonna play a game. Ready?
Yep.
I will name the match, and you will tell me what you'll star rate the match on Grapple.
Okay.
Now, I know what you're thinking. There are some flaws in that game because you don't have Grapple and you will not star rate any of the matches.
Yeah.
Complex bit, okay? Let me think about this. Orange Cassidy versus Adam Cole. Bye-bye. Is it 2 fingers? Bye-bye. Okay.
3.5.
I think that's a good guess. What do you think, Jeremy? Good guess?
Yeah, it's probably going to be at least like 3 3/4.
Bro, the 0-jabbed angel as Bob's finisher move is that is disgusting.
That
the 0-jabbed angel. Man. Okay. So Griff Garrison versus Malachi Black.
2 1/4.
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be short, right?
Yeah.
No diss to Griff, but you don't really get enough time, I think, to have a really good match. Okay. Nyla Rose and the woman that claims her destination is unknown, Ruby Soho.
3 1/4.
Bob, do you agree that Ruby Soho's destination is unknown?
Apparently, her destination is the goddamn trash, per Nyla Rose now. So, you
my
know,
God,
that's just what she said. I don't believe that, but that's what she said. I think her destination is Greensboro, North Carolina tonight.
Somebody clip O'Neal saying her destination is the goddamn trash.
Okay, so next question: have you noticed that Ruby Soho hasn't got many friends? And if so, have you got a witty name that you could brand her in response to that news?
Yeah, more like Ruby Solo.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas. Okay. What's the other match?
There's got to be a match.
Yeah,
there's got to be one other, right? Like I know that's the main event, but what else is there?
I think that's all that's been announced.
There is. I'll check it. I have the lineup right here. Just give me a second.
Okay.
No, that's it.
That feels like they're gonna add something, right? That's 4 matches.
Well, they're doing a bunch of huge announcements and a big surprise. They got the Christmas party with Britt and Tony, and then they got the FTR match. I think Cole and Orange Cassidy's getting a lot of time. I think 3 of those 4 are getting a decent amount of time. The Christmas party segment is probably going to be something. They're going to do some type of segment with Hangman and Danielson.
My prediction is that they're going to announce a match while they're live on the air.
You
know what they did with Wardlow, where they're just like, up next, and they're going to do that again with someone else.
Right. They'll probably add some easy little.
Do Hobbs. Remember Powerhouse Hobbs? Give him a squash match on television, please.
I don't know who that is.
Kill someone on TV. That rules when he does that on the C shows. Okay, main event, Bob. Star rating.
4.5.
It's interesting. I'm not saying I think you're a little high personally, but you could be right. FTR they're gonna have their working boot. Well, look, I mean, I don't think you're gonna have a lot of CM Punk versus MJF because you want to protect that match.
Yeah.
Sting is I mean, he's great, but he is Sting, right? Like,
Yeah,
he
but
is
he's gonna get
bless
the
him,
pops though.
It could have been fuck it, 6 stars. I don't know, maybe. It could, I mean, look, I'll tell you, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna love it. So star ratings, whatever. But yeah, I think it'll be great. So
I think 4.5 is pretty on for that.
okay.
One.
So the video on the ON is going to be like, is it going to be like New Japan clips?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Bob?
Malachi's got to do a video. Like, they got enough stuff to fill time.
Man, watch all these videos and not bringing in Buddy Matthews should be a fucking crime. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
When you get the AEW video game, what's the first match for ON that stands out?
Probably Owen against Danielson, just based on like two guys I know will be in. I don't know all the legends, but I think Owen against Danielson could be a lot of fun.
That's a good one. Jeremy, what comes to mind?
Owen against Luther.
God bless. That match had a real shot happening there in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it did.
I wonder if Luther did wrestle.
Can we just say, listen, let's give some love to our guy Luther. He hit me up this week and was like, Merry Christmas.
He did it, yeah. He wished me and
you imagine
happy holidays.
Can you imagine doing that when, I'm so bad at staying in touch with that dude and he just wishes me Merry Christmas? God bless that man. He's at TV.
It doesn't appear he wrestled Owen. He teamed with Jim.
Jim Neidhart?
Yeah, Jim Neidhart, yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Bob, did you team with Jim Neidhart?
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Which prominent Joseph James Hulbert favorite did Jim Neidhart have a hand in training?
Natalia.
Owned. Absolutely incredible owned, but I'm not going to comment on it. That's disgusting. Bro, I saw someone screenshotted and sent to me tweets where people were claiming that Natty is to blame for people getting fired, and I cackled at that shit. Did you see this, Bob? People were fired up at Natty. I don't know what she did, but people were killing her for it. I was like, man, Natty's not very popular on Twitter. In that sense, she's more of a favorite of mine than she is apparently everyone else watches wrestling. Because I don't hate her, so I guess I'll have to live with that one. Okay, it was really strong. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really strong, Jeremy.
Nah, you shouldn't have said anything. Just
people might, for all we know, someone is sitting out there for Christmas and they're like, "Who was it?" They're sitting there sweating bullets. So I want to just
the sadness in your voice is very strong. Just a man defeated on a day that's supposed to be like happiness. Joseph is ready to take a big victory lap tonight, and O'Neal just like the game's over. Like
he does that a lot. Yeah,
it ran up the score, and O'Neal's still like, you know what? I gotta get this point in here. I'm just gonna go violent dunk to cut the lead to 32 with a minute remaining. I
get about 12 DMs a week where people are like, "Hey man, just want to check how you're doing because I know that Bob's pretty aggressive on the show." Like at one point on the Grin last Friday, I threw it to Bob and he went, "What do you want from me, you piece of shit?"
True.
Told me to go fuck myself. He's pretty aggressive sometimes. So I'm used to it. I'm used to the abuse on the air. I'll eventually file a lawsuit. I've not been informed as to Bob's bonus for Fightful.com. When I do find it out, you can bet your bottom dollar, quite literally,
he
that I'll be
showed up
taking
last night, unlike you, Joseph.
Listen.
True.
If Bob got paid, let me ballpark this. If Bob got paid more than $5 for his appearance last night, I'm going to file an official lawsuit.
Oh, O'Neal, I'll kick you $6 off of my bonus. that ain't nothing.
What would that look like? What would that lawsuit look like? What would be they paid Bob O'Neal? Did they pay you? Yes, they also paid Bob O'Neal. I'd like that $6, please.
For that bit that we were able to pull off, yeah, I'll kick you $6.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we got to do that.
If you sent a super chat on the distraction, Christmas show, I wasn't on the Fightful Christmas show. I appreciate it. It helped me very much. Those Christmas bonuses, Jeremy. Good shit, brother.
Pretty good. Joel
Just bought a
Pearl
new mansion.
O'Neal should have got paid more than Joel Pearl.
God damn, they pay anyone these days, huh?
I know, right?
I had to do like 3 years before I was starting to get paid like that. It's crazy. Now these dudes just walk in, do a pod or two, sit on Twitch a little bit, and they get paid hundreds, thousands, millions.
It's true.
Taking everything I work for. Terrible. The only full injection.
Joel, definitely not. Definitely not paying you my bonus from that stream last night.
Yeah, bonus was too sweet, right? Too good to be paying off. So this is the thing too, is like people send money and like sing and rap and shit, and I just wouldn't do any of that. So what? I'd rather just not be there and get paid. It seems like a much better solution to me. Also, as I said, Jeremy, for some of these people, bless them, that was their big Christmas show. We did this show. We got tomorrow's show.
Yeah,
I got a grin.
It's true.
Hey Bob, you seen Halloween Kills yet?
No, not yet. I watched Con Air today.
My God. I think JJ sent a super chat last night and said, "Have you guys seen Halloween Kills?"
Has anyone seen it?
Sean just was like, "I assume this is a dumb distraction bid."
Actual. I don't even think it's been on the main distraction. Do you? It's just like the sister programming. You not seen it though, Bob?
No, I have not.
Okay.
We got to wrap up before Dynamite. I got to eat something.
AEW Dynamite at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT.
Yes, that show.
Holiday Bash. New Year's Smash.
That's next week.
I don't know. Some of those other names they used to do. They still do, right?
I think they still do them. They did Bash at the Beach. Beach Bash.
Big Bob's Battleground.
Yeah,
there it is.
Remember that, Bob? We did a draft. Good shit. LateNightGrin.com.
Took like a full month.
Yes, indeed it did. LateNightGrin.com.
All for Oracle to kick the shit out of you guys with the booking.
Yep. All elite teams, the Golden Grinnies, decide the nominees, decide the awards, decide everything. We don't care. We hardly do anything on that show. We just read the chat. 4 hours tonight, post Dynamite. Apparently, Fightful does a post show. You can watch that if you want, and then come over here like an hour later. I respect that. I got paid well enough that I'm going to be nice. Watch the Fightful show if you have to, but then lock in for some grins, Bubba, because we got some work to do. Ain't that right, Bobby?
We sure do. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Merry Christmas.
We'll be back tomorrow with a new episode of Distraction where I can
Merry
take
Christmas.
a victory lap for Cody Christmas. Joseph won't let me, and then a post show.
Merry Christmas.
And then Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye.